April 7th, 2024 marks the start of the Kwibuka 30, the 30th commemoration of the genocide against the Tutsi, which began on April 7th, 1994. Meanwhile, despite Rwanda's efforts to push for reconciliation between survivors and those who perpetrated the genocide, the journey of healing has been a bumpy road. The Kigali Genocide Memorial will be a focal point as the Flame of Remembrance, while dignitaries are expected to place wreaths at the mass graves. Meanwhile, the United Nations is holding events to remember the victims and honor the survivors around the country. Rwanda's President Paul Kagame is expected to lead the commemoration event in Kigali on Sunday.
Strategies for never again. In a Rwandan context, remembering is part of prevention of genocide. Citizens are very aware that forgetting what happened contributes to it repeating. So commemoration contributes to genocide prevention, and that's why we have it every year. It's not really recommended to forget what happened. As a country, to prevent it from happening again, it has to be remembered again and again. That's the critical part of commemoration.
To discuss this, we are joined by News Central's South African correspondent, Bongani Siziba. She joins from Kigali, Rwanda. Thank you for your time. Now, tell us about the preparation for the commemoration tomorrow and how the mood is like on the ground.
Good evening, Dapo, and also good evening to our viewers. It will be quite an eventful day tomorrow where Rwandans and also the leaders and citizens around the continent, some of them who are here in Kigali, just to help Rwanda commemorate this day. We have seen notable presidents like the South African president who jetted in this evening, also coming in to celebrate, rather commemorate this day with Rwanda. But I've been on the streets in Rwanda here, Kigali, just to try and speak to the citizens to understand how they feel about this day. The commemoration has been happening, I think, every year, but this one is different because it is the 30th anniversary, 30 years after the genocide. But citizens, some of the citizens, they don't want to talk about it. Like you go in the street to be asking them how they feel about this day. Some, they will tell you that they have been telling me that they don't want to remember about what happened in 1994, but the celebrations will be going on tomorrow. That will start by the laying of the wreath at the parliament and also at the genocide center here in Kigali, and that will be followed by the president of the country, Paul Kagame, giving a speech later in the morning, and also there will be a night vigil that will follow in the evening.
Now, you talked about people not wanting to talk about this very unfortunate event. Would you say to some extent many of those affected have, found closure in terms of justice?
Yes, in terms of justice, according to the government, they say around 1.9 cases have been tried in 10 years. But speaking to the citizens in general, it's a different view from what the government says, because with the citizens, there are those that are speaking about it, but you find them at the centers, maybe those that are involved with the NGOs, but general citizens, some of them who are survivors and victims, they don't want to talk about what happened in 1994, or rather, I don't know if it's maybe security reasons or anything else that is beside them speaking about it. But many that I've tried to speak to in the streets, just general citizens, they are not opening up on how they feel about it. But also speaking to some government officials, they say there have been programs that have been done here in Rwanda for the past 30 years, just to help especially those survivors just to get through this, and also the reconciliation and unity among citizens. Some of the programs like the one that they call the homegrown solution whereby they bring in the perpetrators just to meet with the survivors and also meet with the communities and try to integrate them into communities, but also help the survivors just to forget about what happened and unite as a community, as a country, and move past what happened since in 1994.
All right, Bongani, thank you so much for your time.